Yes. Welcome back to the Feuding Bros, the show where we talk about everything football as usual with Thierry and Freddie. It's been a long couple of weeks, guys. Just come back from the international break. What a long international break this one was.
Too
I know
long.
it felt so long. It felt so long, but it was good for us. At least as my new fans, we get a bit of reprieve with the media, so it's good for our mental health.
Yeah, I mean,
Facts.
I mean, I don't know. Do you actually get involved in the international break? I mean, I just watched the Ivory Coast games, and obviously we lost, so it wasn't. We lost in the second games. It wasn't great, but apart from that, man, just everything else just seems to drag on. I don't know. They probably need to do something about it.
It's boring, man. The Nations League on top of it, like it's like it's too much. It's too much for the players.
Yeah. It just feels it's very boring. I never really follow. I might watch a highlight here and there if there's like a nice game. But yeah, apart from Ivory Coast, you watch Ivory Coast, and then that's it really. There's nothing else to do. Maybe if the Nation League's final, I don't know when that's gonna be. Maybe when that comes up, I'll watch it. But yeah, right now it feels dead.
Yeah, it's dead, man. But anyway, let's get back to our usual business, man. Let's match day 8 in the Premier League. We're just obviously recording on Sunday right after the big game, the big Sunday um, game, which saw uh, Liverpool play Chelsea. Uh, what did you guys think about the game? I thought it was a very, very good game, man. Two good teams playing.
Yeah, very entertaining game for sure, man. It could have. It felt like it was gonna go. It could have went either way. Chelsea had some good moments. They actually dominated the midfield a little bit. They were a little bit more comfortable, I would say. Maybe not dominated, but they were comfortable. They showed some good bits. They really did. But a few turns of events with a penalty, the first penalty, which that was a penalty. The second one, they had a little debate on it. I was on the fence with that one, but eventually I think they came to the right decision. Now there was that central incident as well, which it could have gone either way, and I don't think I would have been mad either way. Turned out it wasn't a penalty, so that definitely influenced the game a little bit because that would have been a very big goal for Chelsea to put in. So can we say fair result? Don't know. I think Liverpool did come on top a little bit. And yeah, man, they are serious this year. They're not playing. That's only what the third
Yeah.
goal
So
they
where does that put both of these teams actually in the title race or in the league right now? Where does that put them? Right?
I think
Well, I think
I think it was.
yeah.
Go on, Freddie. Go on, Freddie. Finish your point.
I was just gonna say I think it's still early to say, especially with last season what we saw from Tottenham crumbling, and again it's Tottenham, but I think it's still early to say. Usually, come January, things get a little bit more, solidified in the table. So, yeah, Liverpool. I will say though, they are showing some brilliance. They look like they can go all the way. Chelsea, I don't know. So far, they do deserve top four though, the way they're playing.
Yeah, I would say so. I think like it was both teams gave a really good account of themselves. I feel like Chelsea dominated that first part of the game. Like they weren't creating much in terms of like chances. They did have a couple of half chances, but
Yeah.
in terms of like, you were saying the midfield, the control they had in the midfield, and they were winning the ball back. Like Liverpool couldn't like get hold of the ball that first 30 minutes. They were struggling.
That's right. Yeah.
And, yeah, and yeah, and then they get kind of the goal. It's a bit of a sucker punch, but they should have had a PK probably before that, like Freddie said. And then yeah, there is debate about the central incident as well. Like,
Did you think it was a PK though? The first one?
the first foul on Salah or Sancho.
So the first incident was
That was
Salah,
on Jones.
right?
On
No,
Jones.
that's
Jones.
the Jones one is the second one.
The Jones one, I think, is the second one, right? Yeah.
Both was Jones. Both was
No,
Jones.
the first one was Salah. The first one was Salah. It was Salah.
Yeah,
He
the first one
went
was
past
Salah.
Colwell on the wing, and then
Yeah.
Colwell came from the
And then
back
he-
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a PK because he just shoved him from
Okay.
the back. He didn't get anywhere
I
near
thought
the
that was
ball.
a foul too. I thought that was a foul too. To be
Yeah,
honest.
he didn't get any close to the ball. It was just a shot from the back. So yeah, for me that was a PK. The second one felt a little bit less of a PK. Well, by the rules, it's a PK, but
Yeah, but I think the second one is it's like
it's
I feel
either
like
or.
the referee just made up for the
Yeah, I think
first
there was a bit of that too.
decision because I feel the second one, yeah, the guy is. I mean, Kobe doesn't touch the ball, but it's kind of soft though to me. For
It
me,
is. It is. It is. Yeah, I think it's definitely like a makeup from the first incident. Which that ref was so bad. He was so bad. You can see that he was like overwhelmed by the occasion, and yeah, but yeah, I mean the central one as well. I mean, it felt really soft too. So I mean, you seen them given, but I'm like, yeah, I'm okay with it not being
well, I don't
given.
know. I thought that was a pen too.
But that was
Yeah,
again. I feel
Yeah.
like I feel like it's either or. Like if they give it, you can't really complain too
yeah. It's
much.
like if they give it, you're fine. But like if they
Yeah,
don't, then I don't know, man. I think it was
yeah.
more leaning towards a pen than that.
The
Yeah,
pen too, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it was unlucky. I thought this game was a bit unlucky for Chelsea. I think a draw would have been the more fair result, but Liverpool were a bit more clinical, made the most of their openings and opportunities they had, and but I think both teams gave a good account of themselves. Liverpool showed that they're gonna be up there for most of the season at least, but as we know, like Freddie said, you can be up there into really far into the season and then crumble. I mean, last year they were top until March, was it not? It was March, I think, that they started crumbling, and they kind of lost and they lost their way. So that's kind of where we'll judge them, I guess. But Chelsea, I mean, Chelsea, you can see Chelsea is probably right now them and likely Aston Villa are the fourth best teams in England right now. They you can see the progression, you can see the solidity in the team and the style of play again, like we always say, the dreaded style of play. But you can see that they know what they want to do. They have a game plan and it works for them. On another day, they could have won this game or tied it. But yeah, I thought it was very good game from both teams.
Yeah, for real. I mean, Maresca is working miracles with that team. Man. I mean, they have good players, but it's just so many players. How do you blend everything in? And it looks like it's doing all right. I mean, for me, the jury was still out before the game on both of these teams, and I just saw. I don't know, man. For me, yes, Liverpool won, and for me, overall, they were the better team in the end. But there was a lot. If I want to nitpick, there was a lot of like, you know, I feel like in midfield, like Freddie said, like in midfield, they were dominated, especially in the first 25, 30 minutes. They were dominated. There was nowhere to. There was. I mean, I was looking. I remember looking at the team sheet and looking for who's playing in midfield for Liverpool because it seems like Jones was like he didn't want to go for the challenge. He was just like playing like away on the left hand side a lot, and I just saw Szoboszlai just being there, just running around a little bit, just like floating around, not really doing much, especially in the first 20, 25 minutes. But then the goal comes, and it comes against the run of play because Chelsea by that time was a better team. But and then after that, I thought Liverpool just started controlling the game. I mean, they went in front, and I thought they were the better team from then on to the end of the game. I think. Yes, Chelsea came back with the equalizer, but you could see that Liverpool was always going to come back and score that second goal because there was so many chances. It wasn't a game that was that many chances as well. That's why I'm thinking that there's two teams that kind of like counter punch each other.
Yeah,
but are they really at the top? Like if you want to compare them to the Arsenals and City right now who are challenging, I don't think they're quite there yet. For me, this was a test for both these teams. Liverpool seemed to pass it. The narrative on Chelsea is going to be, you've had two tests and you failed them, and you're just beating the smaller teams. So that's, for me, the narrative is going to be that for them. But I got to give them credit with the way they play, especially offensively. Offensively, they're scary, man. Offensively, they look really good.
Yeah.
But what's going to kill them, that keeper is going to kill them, is always a pass back away from a massive mistake. And these defenders, man, whether it's Colwell back there, whether it's Tosin, whether it's Badiashile or whatever the other guy is, just everyone back there is just prone to a mistake, and that's what's gonna kill him eventually. And against big teams like Liverpool, yes, people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, you did well," but things like that against like teams like even Brentford who have potent strike force, you know, against teams like that, if you play like that, man, they're gonna smash you as well. And then against the Brentford like that, there's no excuses. So that's probably my verdict of the game. To me, jury's still out. I mean, Liverpool did well, but jury's still out. I want to see them perform. Well, next week is going to be a good test for them because they're playing against us, and I want to see them perform against a big team and just like have that victory where we're going to be like, okay, Liverpool is there and they're going to be there to be reckoned with. So that's probably my analysis of the game right there. Do you have anything else to add to that before we move on?
No, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good, you guys. Okay. All right. Well, that was just Liverpool Chelsea. Great game in the end, to be honest. All right. Let's move on then to your game. Actually, a rare victory for Manchester United. I'm sure you guys are happy. How you guys leave that game?
Very happy. Very happy. Go on, Freddie. Oh, looks like we may have lost Freddie there.
Are you there?
Freddie?
Manu, yeah. I mean, it's something not to get carried away with. A win against Brentford, we're happy with the win. That's what we we wanted. That's what we sort of expected. We came in and besides the first 20-ish minutes, we showed some good football, attacking, a lot of shots we took, a lot of nice play. People talk about style of play. For me, that's a myth. Style of play, it's, hey, sometimes you have to adapt. Sometimes you play your best football. Sometimes it's less prettier. But if nobody sees a style of play, then there's nothing we can do. At least what we did yesterday worked. We really dominated that game. Two great goals, especially the second one from Oyland. I really liked it. It was a nice flick on from Bruno and a nice finish by Rasmus. Garnacho was definitely lively as well. So, yeah, that first goal from Brentford really came against the run of play. And I was really happy with the response from our team. So, yeah, I mean, again, not going to make too much off of it. We want to see a run of that. We want to see the next game against West Ham, I believe, which is going to be a little bit tougher. We want to see the same. We want to see that over and over. That's the best way to shut down all the the negativity around the club, and kind of move up the table as well. We are 11th, but there's only 6 points between us and Villa, who is top 4. So we just need a slip up from them, from any of the top 4 team, and we're back in it. So the only way we're going to achieve that is to keep winning. So yeah, I really enjoyed that game. That was a really good performance from Manu.
Yeah, the bar is very low. The bar is very low, but that was definitely our best performance of the year in terms of actually being able to be the better team for, I would say probably 70 minutes in the game, give or take. But yeah, we were in control, and especially after that second goal, like we really, really, really were in control of that game. They weren't able to do much at all. And yeah, they really didn't have much during the game. The goal that came mainly because the late had to go off, which that was a whole shambles with the medical team. And I don't know why they didn't just patch him up the first time he went off. But yeah. Anyways, great response. We usually crumble when things like that happen when we play well and we concede against the run of play. But this time, they played really well second half. And Højlund looked really good. Garnacho looked good. Rashford looked good on the right, which was surprising.
Right.
It's a good performance, like you said. Nothing to wax lyrical about. It's just a breath of fresh air to actually win like decisively for once. And then you go on to the next game, but yeah, we have to see some consistency. Not necessarily even like winning every game, but like playing like this, like getting draws. Maybe if you do lose, you lose narrowly. You're not getting battered, like, and just being solid. And I think he went more conservative this game and was like, okay, we're just gonna not press as much. We're not gonna be playing basketball, football. Like, we're just gonna be a little bit more solid, more tight, stay together more, and it worked. Right now, I don't think we have the players to be that high intensity team, especially the midfield. We don't have the legs to be that really high intensity team like he wants. Maybe when Ugarte is up to speed and stuff like that, maybe he can give us that boost to be that team. I don't think so, but we'll see. But yeah, good win, and then on to West Ham next. They've not been doing very well, so hopefully we don't have any drama there. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it's a kickstart to the season, but we'll see.
We'll see, indeed. I mean, that was a decent game for you guys. I mean, you a little bit of a scare when Brentford scored. It was against the run of play. One of the rare games that I've seen, you guys control for most of the game, to be honest. I would disagree with you, Freddie, when we talk about a style of play. When you say style of play is a myth, it's not a myth when you see most top, managers have a style of play. So there has to be something about that. I mean, it's not about, it's not everything. Style of play is not everything. I agree with you. But we're talking about, those big teams. And I understand if right now you don't care about style of play, you just want to win because of where you are right now. And I would be the same. I would be the same too. I would not care how I get the results as long as I get it. But if you want, what we're talking about, because obviously United has different standards. So we're talking about different standards. And this Ten Hag came with a good reputation, actually. And he did have a style of play at Ajax. And right now, from one game to the next, from one day to the next, it could be two completely different things with the same look, with the same players. So that's why we're talking about style of play. But it's not the defining thing that it's gonna be like he has to do this, he has to do that. No, right now you need points on the board. You haven't won in you hadn't won in 3 games, so that was definitely a game that you should have won. The international break did you a lot of good. It looks like. Because you came back and it looks like your players are fresh and they were ready to go. They came on the field and it was defense performance. I thought this game would be a tough game for you guys, especially with Brentford being as good as they are this season. But I thought you handled it well. I thought you managed the game well. It's good to see Højlund back on the score sheet, and I thought Garnacho is looking good, man. Garnacho is probably your best player right now because especially in this game. This guy was everywhere. He was running around. He was creating. He was dangerous every time he had the ball. Dangerous every time he had the ball. And I think the way he played made Højlund play better because now Højlund is getting found when he's making those runs. And Garnacho is creating space for him to run into. So yeah, I thought Bruno is one of his better performances. I feel like You can see that Ten Hag is still looking for stuff because now it looks like if you can tell me if I was wrong, but it looks like in the game, what's his name? Ericsson played a little bit more forward. It looks like Ericsson was the 10 and Bruno was playing kind of that withdrawn 8 role. It's usually the other way around. So you can see that Ten Hag is still thinking about it. He's still trying to look for stuff. I think what helped him is also the fact that Maino was injured, so it was kind of easier to trying to put pieces around and try some stuff, and it worked. And when it works, all we gotta do is give you the props. Now, is that going to be a result that is going to be replicated next week? Jury's still out for me. And teams like West Ham are the kind of those are the kind of games where you go with a bit of confidence and then you go and then you get found out again. So I mean, until the game comes around, we'll see what's up. But good results for United.
Yeah.
And this is me being objective and fair, This is me being objective.
I mean, that's the truth. It's just the truth.
It's the truth.
All right, let's move on to
Which
Wolves
one?
against Man City. City needing a last minute John Stones header to win that game, and yeah, just like we were talking about when we were talking about the Arsenal bit. For me, I don't think City is being that great this season. Yes, they're getting the results, but they've been struggling. For me, they've been struggling. I mean, the first couple of games where Haaland was scoring hat tricks here and there, and since that's dried up, it's becoming more of a grind for them. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. Well,
Considering this was top v bottom.
yeah. I would say yes. The last probably I would
Go on,
say
sir.
like three games. Because I think they tied Newcastle and then they beat Fulham narrowly. Which probably they should have lost that game. They were very lucky in that game. And then this game, Wolves gave them a game. The draw would have been the fair result. The draw would have been a fair result. I gotta give a shout out to Guardiola on his right foot, man. That's like the second time he does that. Like, yeah, I've not seen many left-footed players that have a good right foot like that. So yeah, that was
And
a nice finish.
it's not the first time he does that, though.
Yeah, it's not the first time. So yeah, it does. So yeah, I mean City. Yeah, last 3 games. I think before that they were still pretty good. They were still like dispatching teams like they usually do. City is always gonna like concede a goal or concede chances at least. But in the last 3 games especially, they've been huffing and puffing quite a lot. And then, but yeah, I mean, again, City is City. They will always, well, at least the last 3 or 4 seasons, they always start slow. They always huff and puff until January, February time where they come into their stride. We were a bit surprised this season that they were starting. It seemed like they were starting like really hard from the start, but it looks like it's kind of slowing down a bit, like you said, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit of worries for them in terms of they do need to clean up that defense a little bit, in case or they will get fine wanting. Like if you again like you're playing bottom of the league and you're huffing and puffing that much, like those teams like the Newcastles last time, the Fulhams, they got lucky, the Brightons and the Aston Villas, like they will take points away from you, like if you're not like if you're leaky at the back. So we'll see how they go on, but yeah, it's not been convincing lately from City.
To be fair though, the second half they were pressing, especially the last 30, 25. It was like attack with defense, as we know. Obviously, Wolves had their chance with counters, but once they make you sit back like that, it's really they keep the control. Honestly, they pass it around. They're gonna take a couple of shots. They're gonna put it in the box. And to me, at least, I felt like the goal was always gonna come because when it came to injury time, like the pressure was on. They were like, "We're gonna get our goal," right? And they were just all around that box. And yeah, what it took today was a corner. Bernardo Silva always sleeky as usual, playing around and kind of messed the keeper up a little bit. But John Stone came in and just buried that. So with City, we can use the argument as well. They're missing the key players. Rodri, De Bruyne. It's not that many, to be fair. Foden was in. He hasn't kicked in yet. Doku, he did the assist today, but sometimes he does a lot of things.
What do you think of Doku? I think he's very overrated
as well.
Or maybe it's too raw, but I just don't see it yet.
That's a good. It's a good point. Too raw is the right word, I would say, more so than overrated, because he comes in, he's flashy, he will do things, and you're like, oh man, but I think he's raw in the sense that, again, he does a lot of movements and really don't go nowhere. Again, that's the thing about Grealish. When Grealish comes, he does pretty much the same, but he has a little bit more impact, right? He came in and he put a few crosses in, and even if he's not putting a cross in, he just shakes up the defender. And I'm not comparing them. I'm just saying, just in terms of being a little bit, potent. Grealish is still a little higher than him in that. I feel like Doku just needs to own in onto his skills, right? Yes, he has this one flick he does, but make that and then have end product to that. Okay, so maybe he needs to work on that. Not sure. He did that a few times last season. I remember against us, he cut in and then he shot, and then that was a goal. I don't know why he doesn't do that as often anymore. Maybe that's Guardiola's instructions, but yeah, I mean, City, man, City. I feel like they're just getting into it. And if they don't get any more injuries, as Thierry said, by January, we might see a different team. I don't know when De Bruyne is coming back. We know Rodri is out for the season, but they do feel like, it feels like they do miss a De Bruyne that can put balls over the top, pinpoint to Haaland. That's missing a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out until the January window. See if they can maintain this rhythm. At least we know they're obviously going to be title contenders. So, can they go all the way? That's gonna be a challenge this year.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they got the win in the end, and that's what they set out to get. So can't really say much about that. But for me, I don't think that City is playing that well, and it's not just today. Yes, you can you'll go to the second half and be like, yeah, they dominated. It was just attack v defense. But what did they have clear cut chances though? I don't remember that many clear cut chances where I mean, yeah, Jose Sa made a couple of saves from a few long range shots, but nothing clear cut, nothing cutting edge, And
Yeah.
I agree with you when Grealish comes on, and that's why I asked you the question about Doku. But I think what Doku does, he will wear you out. So when Grealish comes on, he has a gassed out fullback to work on,
Yeah.
and that's probably good for Grealish, because Grealish, I don't think is that guy now who will just go past 2-3. Now he can't do that anymore. If the guy is like fit, I
Yeah.
don't think But now if the guy is a little bit tired because he's been defending all game, so yeah, I think Grealish comes on and does that. But for me, like the reason why I asked, because Doku, I mean, he came with a big reputation in Sky, and yes, he has that trick, but today that trick wasn't working, and he had nothing else. And that's the problem. If you look at, for
Yeah.
example, Savinho on the other side, he has much more, in his locker. He can go, left, he can go right. He has so much more than what Doku is offering right now. I don't know, maybe it's from Guardiola, but I'm just saying this is what I see from this guy. I think it's a little bit overrated for me right now, or maybe a little bit too raw. But I mean, if there's one guy that can polish that rawness, it's Pep Guardiola. Again, Haaland, he cannot play against physical players. He cannot play against physical players. Every time I see this guy against physical defenders, like man that would just sit on him, the guy can't play. And that's probably going to be I don't know if that's going to be a problem for them or not. I mean, it's City, right? So obviously their bar is way different to everybody else. But that's what 3 games now that he hasn't scored. That must be a concern, and it looks like people know how to play against him. And when he's not scoring these ridiculous goals, then you see City struggle, because I thought today they were running out of ideas, just like they ran out of ideas against Newcastle, just like they ran out of ideas against us. And it took again, a cross, but a corner from Phil Foden, and John Stones again just coming in clutch. Is that sustainable in the long run when they start playing the good teams? I don't know. But I mean, again, with City, you can never be 100% sure one way or the other. So it's a good win for them. They are still second, and I guess they move on. But, for me, that's why I feel like the league is not over yet, even after this loss, because they're not playing great for me. They're not the City that they usually are for me right now. So that's just what I can say about that game. Anything else, guys?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's funny.
All right.
That's about it. Yeah.
All right. Looks like that's a good roundup for the main games. This game week. Do we mention Spurs? Good win for them,
Yeah.
4-1.
Yeah, good win for them.
I knew there was for some reason I knew there was smash.
Yeah,
West Ham,
yeah.
and good win for them. And but yeah, that looks like it. So don't forget to like, share, and drop us a comment, and also subscribe. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you are notified every time we drop a video. And subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. We're trying to get subscribers, please. So come on, let's do it. All right. And also just go and check out our previous videos as well, man. Anything where you want to listen to, and let us know if you want us to talk about anything. Let us know as well in the comments so we can definitely have our 2 cents about that. All right, this was Feeding Bros. See you guys in the next video.
See you guys later.